and gentlemen, the next industry session where we will be talking about the next education. We are going to have Sarah on stage. She is the regional head for Next Education. Can we have a huge round of applause for Sarah joining us on stage?
That is Next Education. We are a curriculum partner or a solution provider, I'd like to say. And more, into the curriculum partner, we have an integration of technology. So now you have heard that technology can be good, technology can be, not that good, and how much of technology. So I'd like to take you through that. So we started in 2007 with our, a CEO and a CFO. Then we have our presence pan-India and out of the country as well. We started with our flagship product, which is TeachNext, digital content, and then we went into, creating curriculum. So I'd like to just ask you one question before I go into my session. I'll keep it very brief. Can you tell me what is the definition for illiterate, for the word illiterate? Do we know? Not being okay. So someone who cannot read and write? Yes? So if I have to say the 21st century illiterate? Yes. So it was beautifully said by Alan Toffler. An illiterate person of the 21st century is not someone who cannot read and write, but someone who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. So that's where Next Education comes into play. So we are a solution provider which takes care of all the stakeholders. We just don't look into curriculum, which is books. We make sure that, we had a lot of people talk about how important it is that skill building happens, right? You have to have the right skills. So what we do is we look into a more student-centric solution where we cater to each and every student to make sure that they have created their own personalized learning. So it's important because, not everyone in a class is going to learn on the same pace. Everyone's going to learn at different paces. So that's where we come in. We provide a platform which is, an integration of the curriculum. We give them the tools that are necessary, and we make sure that with all this, the 21st century skills are being developed. Now, if I may, 21st century skills, I think it is a combination of emotional life skills, literacy skills, and the learning skills. If I can ask another question, why do we, learn, or why do we, say for example, go to school and college, or why do we get educated? Anybody? Why do we get educated? As parents, why do we send our children to school? Yes, ma'am?
Navigate life.
For formal education, okay. And after? What is the purpose of it? Knowledge? Very good, ma'am. So, it is job, right? We are all here because we are, we are in a job. We are fulfilling responsibilities and, things. So, that is what we tend to make sure that a child has to have the skills in the world of work. It's not just knowledge, right? It is application. How am I going to use this knowledge? You see, many of us, what we do is, we have the knowledge, but when we join a certain field, we don't use that basic knowledge that we got from our particular field. We are always, into something else. And in the world of work, it is not only knowledge that's going to get you forward. So it is a certain skills to compete, skills to survive, I'd say, because you need a mixture of both. You need a mixture of, literacy skills, which is technology right now. You need, skills which is life skills to make that personal connect, and you need skills which are learning skills. And that's what we cater to with our, various resources. We make sure that the content or the knowledge that is being delivered or concepts being delivered in the classroom is taken beyond that and through the means of technology. So we have a platform that we cater to schools. We cater to all the providers, all the stakeholders, I would say. Parents, students, teachers, management as well. Making sure everybody is on the same, on the same page. Because if I'm going to give so many tools to my teachers, as management or as a principal, are my teachers doing justice to them? Are they using it? How am I going to, measure what is happening from my teacher's point of view? How am I going to measure learning progress, which is very difficult. So that's where the platform comes into play, where we make sure the LMS, which is the learning management system, is completely catered to the academic part of it. We have the ERP, which is again management part of it. We have the assessments, so making sure that the end results are what we have achieved, desired results, I would say. And the digital content. Now, this is what the LMS platform would look like, where everything that the teacher is doing in the classroom can be sent to the student so that recapitulation happens at home. Personalized learning pathways are created depending on every child's capabilities and abilities. And also it is through gamification, because as we know, children today are so tech savvy. You give a 2-year-old a phone, she knows how to open YouTube, go to her own cartoons, open it, she knows to go back, she knows to forward, he or she. So they are that, I can say forward. Whereas we would ask our children, can you open that for me? Like we were talking about ChatGPT. Till today I didn't know what ChatGPT was, just until last month. I was introduced by my daughter who told me, Ma, you can do anything. So that is how forward they are, and they are up to date. So why not use technology, something that they are already so influenced by? Use it to grab their attention. Because today children don't want to learn, don't want to use the traditional way of sitting at home and learning. And we also talk about no rote learning. You've got to do everything activity based, experiential based, and that's what we cater to. We make sure that the children are using what interests them, but in an academic way. So Next Education, to put it in a nutshell, is an educational provider or an education provider that caters to the students' needs. And I'd like to add, it is appropriation of, say knowledge, or appropriation of content. Whatever is appropriate for a particular child and grade, that's how we cater to them. We don't overdo it or we don't underdo it. So it is all about what is enough for them. And it is also making sure that it is all student appropriate. That means when I have to give a content, I am making sure that it is authentic, because I have subject matter experts looking into it, seeing how much value is it going to add to my child who's already exposed to information all around them. So we go through the information, we streamline them, then we provide it to schools that are appropriate for the students. And again, uniform information is always good information than my child having, different kinds of information, because everything is available on YouTube and the internet. So we are an ecosystem, I'd like to say, where we are integrated with everything. So making sure that, when a child comes to school, learning just doesn't end there, but it is continued even beyond school, that is at home. And we make sure that everything is, measured in terms of reports, analytical reports. We go into depth per student, be it concepts, be it, the skills, be it according to Bloom's taxonomy, assessments, everything is measured. And our digital content, this is all part of the program, where we have curriculum, books, we have labs, we have integration of STEM, where we make sure that not only, knowledge is important, but also learning by doing, the experience of it is important. So we cater to computers, we have with the robotics, we have our math labs, science labs, and our language labs, making sure that it is a complete holistic approach. So when a school or a student is, into the program, at the end of the year, the learning objectives of that particular grade has to be achieved. And that's what Next Education is all about. Thank you so much for your time.
Sarah to please come on stage. And along with that, I request Mr. Sandeep, if you're around, to please come and felicitate our speaker. Can we have Sarah back on stage, please?